Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Estate Podcast. I'm Todd Sumney, the Chief Industry Officer for HomeSmart International, and I talked our special guest, Wendy Forsyth, the Chief Operating Officer of HomeSmart International, into doing a second podcast with me here today. So, Wendy, thank you for being on the podcast.
You're welcome, Todd. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you staying for a second session here, because today what we're going to talk about is the importance of good photos. So they are, and we're going to give some resources to help you in making sure that you're using good photography in your marketing. So again, today our guest is Wendy Forsyth, Chief Operating Officer for HomeSmart. Wendy has been around the industry for years and has a tremendous amount of experience at the agent level, brokerage level, working with agents and helping them effectively grow their business, right?
Yeah, I've been very lucky to be in the industry for a long time, and I'll share that one of my pet peeves, having been in the business for so long, is when I see agents not taking great photos to use in the marketing of their listings. When a seller hires you to merchandise their property, photos are the most important component of that.
So what do you think? I went and in preparation for this topic, because I knew what your passion level was on good photography, right? So I went and I looked up, I just put into Google ugly homes, ugly photographs of homes for sale, and there's a whole Pinterest page that is titled Ugly House Real Estate Photos.
Yes.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't even want to look. I'm not even going to look, because it gets me wound up. Right. Nobody wants to see the toilet cover up in the listing photo. Nobody wants to see your reflection in the mirror in the bathroom or the bedroom of you holding up your phone, taking that. That is not going to help your sellers get the maximum price for their property.
No, it's not. But I got to tell you, so I called out a little bit of the Hall of Fame ones. I mean, there was this one website here, Ugly House, photos for sale, and these are all photos that are on the MLS.
Real live
photos. I mean, this one right here, there was a shrine in the main room that made you think that somebody had passed away in the home, and that wasn't the case with the property.
Frightening.
But it was terrible. This one right here, it talks about NFL football status, and I mean, every room is crowded. The thing that cracked me up is they didn't even make the bed. There was just junky stuff all over the bed, right?
But what real estate agent would take that photo and put it on their listing?
I don't know, but he says these actual photographs are in the multiple listing service right here. So this one right here, you got a cooler out front, you got cars in the front, driveway, and I know at times there's certain things with the house that, you just have to work around. This one right here.
Todd, there's no excuse. I'm going to say there's no excuse, everyone.
There's not. And that's what this right here, the path to home ownership. The whole, the carpet is just so terrible. The bathroom photo, that's just horrendous.
I think they
hoarder,
get it.
Right?
I think they get it. You've all seen these photos.
Good.
You see them in your own MLS. You make fun of them.
Okay, good. All right, so I think it's obvious that good photos matter.
Good photos matter, yes.
So we went and we pulled some statistics real quick, though, about why good photos matter. And these are some statistics from the National Association of Realtors and from Realtor.com talking about how online our customers are online 95% of the time when they're searching for a home. And millennials are on 99% of the time. And of those 99 or 95% people that are searching, the number one thing that they said that was important to them was photos. And photos being very useful. They're online, they want to know about the properties. And then there's one statistic that really stood out to me. It's our last stat to share with you, but listed homes with professional, high-quality photography sells faster, and it sells closer to original price. And one study that I pulled up in the industry said 50% faster and 39% closer. So in your experience, would you agree with those studies?
Absolutely. Like, photos matter. Right. And you see those before and afters of the difference, and it can make all the difference in the world. Right. And we actually, work with agents all the time that will have sort of the old listing photos versus the new, or update photos, and you see the difference that makes immediately. So we're going to give you some takeaways, but the first one I would share to all of you watching is go check all of your listings right now and look at the photos and look at them with a critical eye and say, is this the best photography that I could have to merchandise and market this listing?
That's a great takeaway. That's a great takeaway. And there's three options, that are the obvious options. The first option is obviously, hire a professional.
Yeah, of course.
And there are companies that are out there that, their photographs. One thing that to give some technical explanation, one of the things some of these companies will do is they'll take multiple photographs at different exposures from the same location, and then they stitch the photographs together, and that's how they get such good highlights on the granite or on different photographs, and they really brighten them up, and it just makes a photograph look bright and look so good. Yeah. But there's a couple other options, that are out there for you to hire a professional.
So of course we'd always say hire the pros, but we know the reality is that every listing may not be the right listing to hire a professional photographer. For a number of reasons. It may not make sense. It may not be within your budget to hire a professional photographer for every listing that you take. So we're going to give you some options that cost very little money but give you the same impact as hiring a professional photographer.
Exactly. And that's where I think one that comes to mind for me is just staging and doing some things that can really change a property from the photograph. So I pulled just 3 staging photographs real quick. So here's one that stood out to me. There was a before and after of all this landscaping overgrown on the home. You couldn't even see the home, and you just having the landscaping trimmed up, and then now you can see the home.
Hopefully you don't have to trim the landscaping yourself.
Yeah,
although I know some of you would do that.
Exactly, yes. And then, taking, a cluttered, disorganized, corner nook and then recasting it, as a nice little reading spot. Or just doing, a before and after with some pillows, maybe some artwork, something different.
And many of our agents on a listing appointment, either prior to getting the listing or as part of getting the listing, will help the sellers navigate through some of these simple moving furniture around, decluttering a room, cleaning up some landscaping. It's just a little bit of time, and develop your own expert eye at that sort of thing so you can help your sellers maximize the appearance of their property for the photos. Once you've got it staged, though, then there's some magic in getting great photos.
We'll talk about that a little bit. You recently went to an industry event, and you came back and you told me about an alternative to hiring a professional. And so I went and did some research. I pulled some screenshots here on the company. Can you tell them a little bit about what you found at the event?
Yeah, I was very excited to get introduced to this company, and I had heard about them. Some of our agents now here at HomeSmart are using this company already. But they actually won the NAR IOI conference, which was a innovation and investment conference that NAR put on, where they did a pitch battle of having startup tech companies and giving them the opportunity to pitch their company and the value of their company. And this company was the winner of that.
They were the winner. So
they were
first
the winner.
Place.
Yeah, they were first place. So the company's name is Box Brownie. Their website is boxbrownie.com. And what they do is you can upload photos that you've taken from your iPhone, your Android, and they will enhance those photos for you. So they'll take an exterior photo of a property that you have listed, and you can select options. So you can do the before after. So the one you see on the screen, you see that they've enhanced the sky so that it's a beautiful blue sky, and it's got puffy white clouds in it, and the grass is greener, and it's all consistent, perfect green across the grass. So that exterior photo is the hero photo on everybody's listing. Like, that's the first photo you see. That enhancement example costs you less than $2 with Box Brownie.
I couldn't believe the affordability, the
Isn't
prices
that amazing?
that I saw.
So you get like an almost
amazing.
immediate turnaround, and for $2 you go from kind of a gray, shabby exterior photo to this sort of popping exterior photo. So to me, that's a pretty good investment.
I love it. So what I did here real quick, they do 4 or 5 different types of options. And so, and I pulled some examples from all of them, but they have the image enhancement that you talked about. They have a day to dusk.
Day to dusk. And I don't know if you have an
I
example
do. So
of
here,
that.
let's
Okay.
skip ahead. And then we have item removal, we have floor plans and virtual staging. So let's go look at them real quick. So here's a couple more image enhancements. This one stood out a ton to me. It's so much more bright. It's just like that they put lights in the room even.
Just imagine your buyer is on a website, they're on HomeSmart.com, they're on Zillow.com, they're looking through properties that fit their criteria. When they see the one on the left or the one on the right, like definitely one that's brighter, the one that's popping out at them, like that's going to draw them in. And that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to draw them in to get more information, to capture their attention online.
Exactly. Here's the one you just talked about. Here's one of a bathroom, and it's very difficult sometimes to photograph certain spaces because it's like a bathroom doesn't have a ton of windows.
Just
it's
doesn't
the light,
work.
and you got a camera standing right there in the mirror, that's looking at you. So this one was a little bit of a combination of item removal. They removed the camera and the mirror, and image enhancement, and I think it says US $1.60. $1.60.
So when you think of that, I mean, that makes such a huge, like you can basically do all your interior photos for like $20, depending on how many interior photos you have. But a very small investment will take your photos just up an extremely, just another level.
And they're not, this is a kitchen right here, and they're not structurally changing anything. No. It's just like that they were the photographer behind the camera that knew how to open up the brightness and the exposure. And
it's just like on television, right? Like you bring in lights, and like the lights make the room look brighter and cleaner, and that's what they're doing.
So they had a couple statistics. We're still talking about enhancement. We'll get to day to dusk here in a second. But
day to dusk is my favorite.
It's next. All right. So, but they have some stats like why to enhance listing photos. They say sell properties 50% faster, increase prospects, buyers' interest, increase the sales price, and it's just reiterating what we're already saying.
Yes.
Here's your day to dusk.
Day to dusk.
Daylight to dusk.
For those of you that have done anything with photography, photographers love to talk about the magic hour, and that's when the light just gives the best photos that there is. Makes anyone look good when you're in that dusk magic hour. So one of the options that Box Brownie has is to take your exterior photo during normal daylight and give it that magic hour light. And I mean, look at this home. You see the lights on inside, you see the beautiful sky, like it just looks so inviting. So even if you take like both options of just like a normal daylight enhanced outside and then a dusk photo, that is definitely enhancing that.
It totally is, brings up the value of the home. I mean, and that one right there, I mean, that's a whole $4.
Brings up the value of the marketing.
That's
that's a whole $4 investment to get
just
that.
Like, to me, that would be in my marketing budget.
And for me too, why I get excited about this is I think of being a listing agent and going out on listings and showing my sellers, like, these are the photos that normal agents take to market properties. Here's an example of the photos I use to market properties. Like, you can show such a difference and really increase your value and your odds of getting a listing.
Right. Well, and I know you said too, there's no excuse on some of these items, but I agree with that. I really do think there is no excuse. It just takes a little bit more extra either planning or extra effort or something. But one of the things is they call it item removal. So let's say you have a garage space or something right here, and it just has some things in it, or that camera's shown in the photo, you just want it removed. So here you can see they just removed the clutter.
Yeah, they're taking it out.
From
and
the
I think
side.
of this when, how many of you has this happened to where you go to take the exterior photo and somebody's left the car in the driveway, or like the RV all of a sudden is parked in front of the house. Like, imagine still being able to take that photo and have the car removed out of the driveway so that it's not blocking the beautiful shot of the exterior. All those things are possible for just a few dollars.
And again, under $10, I think it was $6 or $8 to have that one done. This one right here is $4. You know, they removed, cleaned up a bunch of clutter over there in the kitchen. So, you know, just a good option, right?
Yeah, great option.
One more quick little thing, floor plan redraws or floor plans. You know, instead of, you know, something like that, you can hand draw something out. And,
yeah, like you
know,
can
have a
give
quick
them
little-
this hand drawing and
Right.
they'll produce this for you. So floor plans are another things that statistically help market your listings when your listing includes a floor plan online. So if you're able to do that just from a hand drawing and then add it into your marketing photos, that's a great upgrade that you can have to marketing your listings.
Well, these are great options. I can see why you were so excited about, you know,
That's right. So
Box Brownie,
yes.
boxbrownie.com. We're going to have them on a webinar coming up, and you know, but the bottom line is it's results, right?
It's
And-
result. There's no excuse
Right.
not to have great
right.
photos to market your listings, maximize the value for your sellers, and position yourself as providing service and expertise above and beyond in your local market.
Right, right. Well, Wendy, thank you so much for joining us here today on the
Thank
Real
you,
Estate
Todd.
Podcast and
You're
talking
welcome.
about your passion and these results.
No
and,
more ugly photos.
No more agents. Go out there and seize the day. Do this. You know, take learn from what we talked about here today and apply that to your business and go get some great results. So thank you all for joining us here today at the Real Estate Podcast. I'm Todd Sumney. This is Wendy Forsyth. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, everyone. Happy listing.